Okay. Hello and welcome to week 14 in CS 163 and 4. This is our last week of content. We are going to be talking about searching and sorting this week. And this is just a brief introduction to searching and sorting. You'll get more of this in CS 165. So jumping right in here, we are first going to talk about searching. And we have already talked about arrays in terms of being a data structure that holds information. And when we have a data structure like this that holds information, we want to be able to search through the array for some specific element within that array. And linear search is one of those ways of doing that. And you can see the code for the linear search down at the bottom of this slide. And it's maybe something that you've already used before and you just didn't know that there was a name for it. But essentially what we're doing with a linear search is we are looking at every element within the array to see if it matches with the key that we're using to look up that specific element. Okay, so let's take a look at this a little bit deeper. So again, our linear search is going to compare the key element sequentially with each element in the array, okay? And it's going to do this until it finds a match. Otherwise, if it doesn't find a match, then it's going to return -1. Okay, so when it returns -1 to the calling method or to the user or whoever is looking for this element, then they know that it's not within this array. Okay. So when we look at this visually, we can see that we have an array called list, and we have a key that has the number 3 in it, an integer 3. So the key is what we're looking for, right? So we're looking for the number 3 within this array called list, okay? So it's actually going to compare 3 with 6. So when we're tracing through this, we're going to just ask ourselves, is 3 equal to 6? And obviously the answer is no. So sequentially means in order. So we're going to go to the very next element and compare the key, which is 3, to the number 4, which is in the second element of the array. 3 does not equal to 4, so we're going to keep going. 3 is not equal to 1. We're going to keep going again. 3 is not equal to 9. It's not equal to 7, but oh, look, there's number 3 in our array called list. And so now we're going to return the place where we found 3. So the index within that array that we found number 3 is what we're going to return back to the calling method. So I am going to post these slides to 163 and 164 Canvas, so you can access these URL links if you want to take a look visually at some of these searching and sorting algorithms. But let's take a look at the linear search a little bit more closely in terms of code. So we actually have this method called linear search, and we're passing into the method an array and a key. So the array is an integer array and the key is an integer as well. So we're going to loop through the length of the array. And as we loop through the length of the array, we are going to check and see if key equals each element within that array. So we're looping through sequentially in a for loop, something we've seen before. We have a condition where we're checking the key against each element within the array. We've done that before. And if there is a match, we are going to return the place where that match happened, okay? You can see if you get through the entire loop and there isn't any match, then we're going to go ahead and return -1, which was the basis for this entire algorithm. So, so when we look at tracing the method down here at the bottom of the slide, you can see that we have an array called list and we have a set of numbers in that. And then we're invoking this linear search method, passing in list, and then passing in the number 4, which is our key. So what we're doing is when we return that that number wherever 4 is within our array, we are going to save it into an integer I, okay? And so in this case, what we're doing is we're searching 4 against the number 1. That's not equal. We're going to search 4 against the number 4, and that is equal. And so we're going to go ahead and return 1 back to our calling method. We're going to go in and do the same thing with -4, but we know that there is no -4 within the array, so we're going to return -1. And then we are going to do it again and look for a -3. So you can see that you can invoke this method multiple times and look for different elements within that array and determine where those elements are within that array. Okay. So that concludes the linear search portion. I am going to post some fun little flamenco dance linear searches so you can have a little bit more of a visual in what these searching and sorting methods do. So I hope you enjoyed that. Otherwise, I will see you in the next lecture, and we're going to be talking about binary searches there.